Are y'all watching Love is Blind DC? I just watched the finale of that show and I have thoughts. Marissa, Marissa. It's real easy for me to be like, girl, get up. It sucked to see her crying in that way, but it proves a lot of things that I've known to be true. One, 80% of communication is nonverbal. If she paid attention to Ramses and his eyes, his facial expressions, his body language whenever they had conversations about the military, how Ramses looked when he met Marissa's mother and her siblings, the passion was not there since they were in Cabo. Feels like the passion's only there when they're hunching or talking about hunching. So I wasn't surprised that he did this. And I actually respect him for cutting things off instead of embarrassing her at the altar. You see how big her reaction was in their apartment. Can you imagine if he did that to her in front of her family and friends? To take into account a few things. Marissa has hormonal issues. She said it on the show. I believe she said that she is vitamin D deficient, which vitamin D deficiency can lead to depression, y'all, and lead to just your emotions being out of whack. The girl is exhausted. She is in law school in Baltimore and commuting back and forth from DC. She talked about how she's in 2 hours of traffic every day. That's wild. And on top of that, she has cameras in her face, her mean mama, and this person who is telling her everything's fine, even though he don't look like everything's fine. I felt for that girl. I really did. Her crying in the way that she did, the way that she broke down, it was clear that she was crying about way more than Ramses. It looked like she was crying for all the relationships, every time that she has been rejected for who she is, being the quirky biracial Black girl, every time she put her everything into somebody hoping that they would accept her when she was searching for acceptance. The issue for me in that relationship is that you have one person who knows themselves and one person who's still finding themselves. And when you have that combination, that's tough because the person who knows themselves is able to recognize red flags and recognize things that just wouldn't work for them. Whereas the person who's still finding themselves is just looking at the reflection of themselves through someone else's eyes. There's a reason Marissa, as a Black girl, could date a Trumper for 3 years and then go from that to this gender fluid person, Ramses with the two locks. I felt for her in that moment, but I felt for Ashley more. Is it just me or did Tyler look sick to his stomach that whole wedding? What I saw in that man's face was guilt. What I saw in that man's face is regret and just dread because he knows that truth is going to come out and he pulled this beautiful woman into all this mess and I can't wait to see the reunion. I just can't wait to see it. It sucks that on these dating shows we tend to see Black women suffering, especially Netflix. But at the same time, it is a reflection of the world, how you got to pay attention to the signs with a person. It's not good to just push past red flags or push past things that bother you. Ask the scary questions, have the scary conversations so that you don't end up in a situation where you've bitten off more than you could chew.